This is now what the is already
in the near future, we should be able to not only produce for internal consumption, but for also export the region and beyond. By enabling local processing and packaging, we shall move beyond exporting raw products to producing high-value finished goods. This will create greater value within our economy and open access to regional and international markets. As you've been briefed during the tour, this modern abattoir will ensure that meat is processed under the internationally recognized hygiene and quality standards, enhancing food safety and public health. It will also improve efficiency in the beef value chain and strengthen consumer confidence in locally processed products. I want to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to extend our deep appreciation to our partners, Mr. Lagwa, and his able and professional team for the decision to invest in our country. Your confidence in our country is deeply valued. Your investment represents more than financial capital. It's an investment in our people, our communities, and our shared future. Your Excellency, sir, this investment demonstrates that our country, Uganda, as you have always said, is an attractive destination for serious and long-term investment. It is expected to increase incomes for livestock farmers through reliable market access and better prices for quality animals. As a joint venture, we have started engaging a number of large-scale commercial farmers, including the Uganda Beef Farmers Association. Some of the serious commercial farmers are here, Your Excellency, like the Honorable Professor Kamuntu. We want to see how we can work together by guaranteeing them an offtake at slightly better prices, and them in turn guaranteeing us good quality animals and sustainable supply. As you've been briefed, the capacity of this plant is 150 animals per day. So if we operate 5 days a week, leaving the other 2 days for maintenance of the equipment, if you multiply the 5 days by 52 weeks in a year, it means we need 39,000 animals in a year for this factory. If we mobilize at about 100 farmers or ranchers, including my farms, supply 390 animals per year each, that is an average of around 32 animals per month, would meet the requirement. So it is really possible, and we are determined to achieve this figure progressively.
Your Excellency, we plan also in terms of Ankole heritage as a brand. The issue of cattle and the scarcity of cattle, I sometimes say that is not a very bad thing. Is because if we are able to, sometimes scarcity in itself is not a bad thing in terms of marketing. Because we will be able to sell our beef expensively if you're able to raise our cattle well, feed them well, come up with good feedlot systems such that we produce quality meat, such that our cattle don't walk as they walk for long distances. We intend also in the future, Your Excellency, there's equipment that we are not able to show you today because we are also developing a lab here so that we are able to submit our meat and test it ourselves and be able to submit to the international market exactly what we are producing for them. Your Excellency, I'd like to thank NEC very much because in our joint venture, the moment we asked NEC to provide land to us, it was provided immediately. So I'd like at this juncture to thank General Mujira and his team. Our biggest challenge at the time was also to, and I'll say personally, was to mobilize funds because after COVID, the price of this factory went up 4 times. And so, Your Excellency, I'll tell you, we have made it here through a lot of sacrifice. And I'm very happy and pleased, and I thank God for this day. I'll go ahead and tell Your Excellency, this is probably one of the best days of my life because I have really, if I may use as we say, I've really suffered for us to be able to get here, Your Excellency, but I'm happy and I thank God. This factory is also a demonstration of the possibilities that are available for us, especially as young people. And it should encourage other young people that we are able to do it ourselves for our country, and we're able to employ ourselves, and to provide employment to others. Your Excellency, I'd like to thank UPDF. We have a total of 100 workers. 52 of them are resident here. They actually live here in the quarters you've seen. We've built houses for them. These are soldiers that we took. We brought in experts to train them, and we are bringing others to keep training them on how to slaughter exactly. We are still working on our speed. There are things that we are still working on, and there are these inspections that the experts come to provide us. The products you've seen, Your Excellency, like the chocolate, is, if you look at Uganda participates in a lot of international expos. So this is why we came up with the ceramic and the chocolate, so that we are able to have products to show people on top of our beef, these are the other things we are able to produce. Like, for example, when you fly with the Emirates, when you go to business class or first class, they give you chocolate there. So what we did is that we created chocolate that I believe is better than theirs and that has better packaging, so that when you finish eating the chocolate, you can remain with that package and always remember Uganda. Your Excellency, we plan in future also to develop, we want to have our own retails in Uganda for Ankole heritage, where we are able to provide proper clean beef to the rest of Ugandans. We plan also to have a steakhouse so that when tourists are able to come, they are able to experience our Ankole beef. Your Excellency, as mentioned by General Mujira, we've had a lot of challenges. This factory, Your Excellency, has been ready from 6 months ago. And one of the challenges is, Your Excellency, as you see this factory, before even offtake, it takes us about $100,000 to just maintain it and keep it on. That is the salaries, the electricity. And what electricity has been so unreliable, and that introduces a new problem of water, because we drilled water, but even from the river Katonga, we have to pump that water. And so when electricity is inconsistent, this problem also arises. For example, we had to buy generators, 1,000 kVA, 4 generators, and we have to keep these generators on to maintain our cold rooms. Because, for example, the surge in power, that inconsistency, spoils some of the machines and equipment that we have. Thank you for creating peace for us as young people and giving us a chance to fight for our future and create this. This would not have been possible without peace. So I want to thank you very, very much for the huge role you've played. And I believe this factory and this day here today should be a proud day, not only for you, Your Excellency, but for Uganda as a whole. What I believe is that this factory, Your Excellency, is only 40% of where we intend, or I personally intend, to go with this investment. We shall not sit back and wait for government to come and do things for us. Your Excellency, you've given us, as I've said, peace, the most important thing. So where government is not able to, we shall run ahead and be able to go and do these things by ourselves. So we shall not sit back and say we want electricity. For example, for the electricity, Your Excellency, I've already met people. We are ready to create turbines to do electricity here in Katonga. We have a river. We can do the electricity to power this area by ourselves. The technology is there, and we are already exploring these options.
It is with great honor, humility, and pride that we gather to witness yet another milestone in our journey towards self-reliance, industrialization, and value addition. I also extend special thanks to our joint venture partner, Mr. Ragwa Francis and Ragwa and Company Kenya Limited, for your investment and confidence in Uganda, which is deeply appreciated. This is a true Pan-African business cooperation. We thank you. Your Excellency, this factory is not just about business. It is about strategic logistics, troop welfare, and national economic transformation. First, for many years, a significant portion of our operational rations, such as canned beef and beans, was imported, as General Mujira stated. With this plant, the UPDF is transforming to self-sufficiency. Your Excellency, General Mujira requested you to give a directive. We commit as a ministry to prioritize purchase from this establishment, which is one of our own. The plant has the capacity to produce dry rations for UPDF and as well as other sister agencies. Your Excellency, the sister agencies are here, and I think on behalf of government, we can also commit them to get these from this establishment. Your Excellency, this facility has already created direct employment of our youth, engineers, food scientists, and technicians. It is a center for technology and skills transfer that proves our local capacity can manage complex industrial processes. This facility is a direct bridge to our local communities. In line with the parish development model and Operation Wealth Creation, this plant will source its raw materials, livestock, and beans directly from Ugandan farmers. This guarantees a ready market, stable prices, and increased household incomes. Rather than exporting our raw materials, as you have always guided, Uganda is now processing, canning, and adding value. This implements your ATM's agenda, agro-processing as a key growth sector, and contributes directly to the tenfold growth strategy. Most importantly, we thank Your Excellency for your visionary guidance, your constant push for the UPDF and all Ugandans to actively participate in the industrialization of Uganda. And this is what has birthed the factory we see before us today. You have taught us that a modern military or society must not only defend the borders of its country, but must also protect and build its economy.
First of all, I want to congratulate Mr. Agua for taking the initiative. Yes, NEC has given you land, but the ideas were yours. These were your ideas. And I thank you and congratulate you. Secondly, the issue of the supply of the required raw materials is just organizational. Uganda now is the biggest producer of coffee in Africa, I hear now. This was just mobilizational. Once we get the economics, like for instance, the way I promoted coffee, when I made the chivaro, the calculation, chura, I saw that our small-scale farmers can get good money from coffee, even if they use 1 acre. And then I just promoted it, mobilized our people, told them. And that's how production of coffee went from 3 million bags to now 9 million bags. And we're heading towards 12 million bags to 20 million bags. With the beef, the cows in 1986 were only 3 million cows. They are now 16 million. It's not very well streamlined yet, but it is easy to do so. The stimulus to make us do so is the market. Once I am sure about the market, I can mobilize the Ugandans produce, and the economics is correct, because what we need to determine is who are the source of the raw materials. The smaller farmers, like in the case of coffee and dairy, or the big farmers. Decide between intensive farming versus extensive farming. That's what we need to decide. As you calculated, I think it was Mujara was calculating, if you want people who can give you 300 cows a year, each farmer, 100 of them can give you this, can feed this factory. You just need 100 big farmers, each one able to give you 300 and something cows a year. This is very easy. It's not such a big issue. So let's decide. Should we rely on the few large-scale farmers, or do we rely on the peasants also? So it's not a big issue. Now, when you hear that a factory is here but has no reliable electricity, the question is, what was the pastor doing? The pastor of that sector, what was he doing? Because if the factory came, was licensed by Uganda Investment Authority. You must have been licensed, Ragwa. So the one who licensed you knew where you are going to build a factory. the work of the Musumba, the shepherd. Once you have the sheep, you know they have pasture, they have water, you're sure. So the pastor, this factory, how was it supposed to operate? I cannot put the case against Okasai yet. It should have started with the shepherd of the factories, because there is Sama Korero, the head of the factories, which is the Minister of Industries, fed by the Minister of Investments, the one in finance. So that when Uganda Investment Authority licenses a factory somewhere, immediately you start working to back it up with the necessary things. So therefore, with this new team, that's why I had really to make some changes in some of these sectors. With this new team, I'm sure, so we are still here, now we are going to sort out. We are getting new shepherds, these are new shepherds. Let's see how they look after the sheep.
The Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, Professor Ephraim Kamuntu, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Secretary and Secretary to the Treasury, Gobi Ramadan. We also have the Managing Director NEC and our host today, Director Uganda Research Institute, the Managing Director Luero Industries, Mayor General Sabit. We have our investors who are partnering with NEC here and accompanied by Mr. Thomas Egen, leaders led by the Resident District Commissioner and the LIS 5 Chairperson. I am Colonel Chris Magezi, the Acting Director.